I want to raise a question here today, and the question is, are Hamites, and by Hamites I mean black people, are Hamites a global racial problem? And should Hamites denounce Obama? Now, there is this phrase that was yelled at me 14 years ago by one of the leading members of our church during the campaign days of Barack Hussein Obama to be president. She said to me with great anger, "We black people got to stick together." Really what she meant was meaning we black people need to hate white people. We need to stick together. We need to resist truth of our own diseased lifestyle. We need to deny that God has blessed America. And all God has blessed America more than any nation on the planet in spite of slavery. God has blessed America, but he has not blessed us black people. He has not blessed us, and we black people got to stick together with our hate against God, our denying against God's word. We got to stick together like black fools, because God has blessed America, ain't no doubt about it, but he ain't blessed us. We got to stick together. Be against God, be against the white man, and be against America. And that's what she really meant. But my question is, in fact, my statement is that Japheth, that's the white man, has demonstrated over a recorded history that he can live and forgive with other nations and other kindreds and other peoples. He can do that. And I think it's very important that we recognize that if Japheth, that's the white man, has demonstrated his ability to live with people that has been his adversaries, his enemies, where wars have been fought and millions of lives have been lost, and yet he's able to come back and sit down at the peace table and build a meaningful, if you will, non-malice, go forward moving relationship with people that had once been his adversaries. Everybody on the planet that walks upright on planet Earth, the white man has been able to, though he's went to war, he's gone to war, he's done a lot of bad things, a lot of bad things been done against him, but ultimately he's able to sit down, break bread, and just let bygones be bygones and go about his business. For instance, let's take the Jew, for instance, who's not a Japheth, but he's a Jew. But the Germans, the Hitler, Nazis were Japheth. They were white. And it was a terrible time from 1939 up until the end of the war, 1945, thereabouts. The world was gripped by the fight that Hitler launched against the Jews, taking their money, taking their property, taking their banking, taking their lives, putting them in Auschwitz and Dachau and ovens and burning them alive and then raping the world. It was an awful time. And even at that period of time, Roosevelt, who saw all this going on in Germany, made no efforts to help the Jews. He only got involved in the war in a major way when Hirohito bombed Pearl Harbor there on December the 7th. And then Roosevelt entered into the war against both Japan and against Germany. But at Yalta on that ship that day, when all was settled and done and the Nazi Empire fell and Hiroshima and Nagasaki had been bombed, that they sat down and they made a truce. And the Jews and the Germans get along now. Do you know a Jew drives around in Mercedes-Benz and he drives around in BMWs? And, you know, there's no problem for a Jewish doctor or a Jewish person, a lawyer to have, to go to Germany, go to Berlin, you know, to the Brandenburg Gate. You know, they all get together. They do business together. Germans come to white people, Germans come to Jewish lawyers to defend them against whatever. And German people go to Jewish doctors. and it's just nothing about, we hate each other. All that's gone, and it's been less than 40, well, that's been 60 years since the event took place. Or the same thing with Japan. White people in Japan, I got to tell you, to have somebody drop an atomic bomb on you like it did in Hiroshima and in Nagasaki, nearly 1 million people killed, the earth is scorched, the world turned upside down, what Truman did to the Japanese people. And yet, America still swings with Japanese. We still buying them Toyotas, buying them Samsungs and Panasonics, and everything is everything, and we're still dealing with the Hengsei market over in China and Japan, and they just got back together after the war. A lot of people died. That was tragic, but the white man and the Japanese get together and everything's okay. The white man and the Jew, and they get together and everything's okay. Or the Spanish-American War. When Santa Anna came up and took the Alamo, and there was Sam Houston and David Crockett and all the rest of them down there dying in the Alamo down there in Texas, and with Santa Anna and the Mexican people coming across the border, and a grievous time, and yet Mexico and America and Mexicans started having relations again, and going back down there to all the Mexican resort places, even the Revolutionary War right here in America, where America told England, King George, we don't want you telling us what to do no more. And they raised up their muskets and began to fire at Cornwallis and the Redcoats as they came by large number of ships to fight against the newly formed 13 colonies of America. And it was bloody, 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 bloody. We ain't going to have Europe and England and King George telling us what to do no more. And they fought on the 4th of July, declared their independence. Here we are now, America and England working together like two brothers. It's like, like two sisters, like they never fought each other. They act like it was always like this. Well, so many lives were lost. But my problem is this, is why is it that the white man has had such problem with the black people? So, if you do a logistical, statistical, if you will, analysis of this whole process, it appears that the white man can get along with anybody, even though many of them have been killed by the adversaries, such as the Japanese or the Germans. But afterwards, he's still able to get along and kind of put it. And when they get together, you don't hear nothing about racism. You don't see the Jews talking about it. You don't see the England talking about the Revolutionary War and what happened. You don't see none of that nonsense. But with black people, oh my God, from Zion, the only man. So my thesis is here is that the problem with racial problems globally is not the white man. Well, he demonstrated he can get along with his enemy. He can get along with everybody. He demonstrated it's that black man that you can't deal with. It's that what that woman said to me. We black people got to stick together. Because I think one of the things that you have to admit, God has blessed America. You can say that slavery was wrong. You can say what you want. You can say that the Ku Klux Klan, that they are wrong. You can say the white people you can say this or that, but what you cannot understate, what you cannot deny, is that God has blessed America even with the Ku Klux Klan. Come on now. Come the hell on. God has blessed America, even with slavery. Blessed her better than nations who didn't have slaves. In fact, God has blessed America better than he blessed the nation from which the slaves came from. Hell, if the nation from which the slaves came from could be 1/10 as blessed than America, everybody be shouting boom shakalaka. So what you gonna do now? What y'all gonna do? Come on now, what you gonna do, Obama? What you gonna do, Sharp? Come on, y'all, what y'all do, Black Lives Matter? What y'all gonna do? What you gonna do? Now, what you gonna say? What you say that God didn't bless America? Well, what you gonna say? What you gonna say? So now, if we were to use a metric to say, well, let's look not at what's in our eye or what's in the black man's eye or the white man's eye. Let's look and see what's in God's eye. And if God is against America, then America wouldn't be blessed. It'd be sick and poor roads and poor schools and no hospitals. But God has blessed America. So we have to say that God has blessed the white man. No, we got to say it. Now, you can't, if you don't say it, you're going to lie on God. You're going to be in more trouble by doing that than anything else. Now, you got to say that God has blessed the white man. God has blessed the Jew. He blessed both. The same one that God said in Genesis chapter 9, verse 25 through 27, that you black people are going to serve him. God has blessed them. No matter how much you cuss, fuss, march, civil rights, or whatever the hell else you do, play basketball, baseball, football, whatever the hell else you sing, dance, God has blessed America in spite of all your marching, in spite of all your protesting, in spite of all your lying, in spite of all your diseases. God has blessed America. Now, what you going to say about that? Huh? What you going to say about that? And I'm telling you, that the problem, the racial problem we see globally ain't because white folk can't get along. It's because you black folk. Y'all got a problem. There's something wrong with y'all. There's something wrong with you. And I know what it is, and I'm going to tell you. But before I do that, I need to tell you that one of the things that if you're going to listen to me now, and you may say, well, wait a minute now. I don't like what he's saying. I'm a black man. I got a sausage brain. I don't reach the right conclusion. My cognitive dissonance does not bring me to the right conclusions when I look at a question. When I look at a question about what does 2 and 2 a rate, I get something like 7 or 25. But I have to take a look now and say, well, now, wait a minute now. If God's in control of this, why ain't God angry with America? Like us, like Al Sharpton is. Why ain't God angry the way Al Sharpton is angry? Or why ain't God angry like Black Lives Matter? Why is it that God is not on the side of Al Sharpton and his views of America? Why doesn't God express the same views that Al Sharpton expresses of America, or Black Lives Matter expresses of America? What Elijah Muhammad said that the white man was the devil. Why isn't that God? Why isn't God on Al Sharpton's side? Why is it that appears that it looks to me that God's on the side of the Ku Klux Klan? God is blessed. America's blessed. No. So wait a minute. And the white man's blessed. Better lifestyle, longer life, more health, greater institution, greater doctors, greater. Why is it that, and I haven't heard God say anything, not one word about how he hated slavery. I heard God say one thing about how he hates slavery, not one time. You can't even find why isn't God against slavery? Why? So we have to then conclude, logically, we have to conclude that God ain't with the black man. He's with the white man. And that the racial problems in America, now, that's hard to say. I know it's hard to swallow. I know it's hard to take, but you show me another argument. Show me another argument. Show me another argument. Show me another one. White man gets along with everybody. Now he's done some awful things. We all know that. That boy took America from the Indians. Then he got ticked off when King George said, give me a part of the share. Y'all don't want to rob the Indians of America, pushed them out to the hinterland. King George said, I want somebody. I said, we ain't giving you nothing. We're going to raise our muskets against you. No, we know that. No, we know that. We know what Hitler did. We do. We know what he did. We also know what he did in Rwanda, too. But, we understand that. But after everything settled down, the German and the Jews started buying each other's cars and going to each other's doctors and lawyers and traveling to each other's countries and celebrating each other's leaders. They're not still talking and marching about, German lives matter. What? So everybody on the planet seems to have harmony except the black man. Everybody. We black people got to stick together, Pastor Man. We black people got to stick together. But, here's the thing. I'm not sure how far you're willing to go with this. Don't matter, quite frankly, because it's the truth. One of the ways you want, if you want to start, and I think what I would recommend, not only am I willing to tell the white man, forget about trying to please all these blacks. Forget about trying to please black people. They've been bending over backwards, writing all kind of laws that they themselves don't want to keep, doing all kinds of things, building schools and doing everything else, and all they do is shoot and kill and maim and, white folks, stop trying to please black folk. That's first thing. You know, and then the second thing is that the black folk need to denounce Obama as a thief. That's right. They need to denounce him. I mean, you have to think about this for just a second, right? Here it is. The lives that were lost, the hell that was raised about our first black president. Obama, our first black president, Pastor Man. We got a black president. Our first black president. Obama, he our first black president. Our first black, we got a black president. Obama, our first black president, y'all. Okay, all right, okay. He wasn't. But okay. But what did he do for you? So obviously, you're doing all that crowing and jumping up and down because obviously relief is coming. Obviously, you're saying that something wonderful is getting ready to happen. God has heard us, and we're getting ready to move like Moses and the children across the Red Sea. We just got our first black. I mean, that's what it seems. If there was something else that you thought was going to happen, please pull my coat. Because it seemed to me that you were saying, our first black president is all of a sudden we're going to be lifted up and get along with the rest of the world. All of a sudden, the whole world, the black world is going to change because we got a first black president. Good things are going to happen. You know what happened? The birthplace of Obama, and that's why he needed to be denounced, the Hamite community far and wide need to stand up with one voice on a particular day that they might select in American history and denounce Obama as a fraud, as a hustler, and that one who has stolen the pennies out of dead men's eyes. He's stolen the pennies out of the dead men that have died and worked for this nation to build it. Obama is a penny thief of dead men's eyes. They need to stand up as one voice, cover to cover, shoulder to shoulder in America and across Africa and denounce that fraud, our first black president, Obama. But here, how likely is that going to happen? I mean, how could that possibly take place? But, you know, one would ask, okay, you had your first black president. Can you show me what he did for you? Can you, if you use a metric of good things that happened, name me one good thing. Just name me one good thing that he did as a black president. I'm waiting. 8 years. How many months? Somebody name the months. How many days? How many weeks? How many hours? How many minutes? He was president. Name me one thing. Name me one. Come on. Name me one thing that he did. Name me one. Name me, how on earth? You know, the question, Pastor, what the hell would name me one thing? The question I want to know, how on earth can anybody be that slick to spend 8 years in the White House and bamboozle and con people for 8 years? I mean, after 8 years, keep waiting. People kept waiting and expecting, waiting, and he kept lying and talking out the side of his mouth and inviting Common and Al Sharpton to the White House, and nothing ever. 8 years we're waiting for a birth. 8 years waiting for something to happen. 8 years. He's come and gone, and still nothing. I said, damn. Not one thing. Not one thing. I mean, come on. Name one. What? Health care? Oh, come on now. You had better health care on the system that you had with your cards from the government system to go into the hospital than you do with that health care. And it didn't cost you anything. Obama made you pay. So what did he do? What did he do? Show me. Come on. One thing. Well, we got more black politicians. I mean, you got more black hell going on because they're the same as him. You got more Uncle Toms? Yeah. Well, you know, can I share something with you? You know, I was raised in the South. I got something on y'all that y'all ain't got. I got a work ethic, first of all. I got an education. When I went to school, when I went to grade school and high school, I got taught. I didn't sit up there and watch the walls and look out the window and want to go play basketball all damn day long. I learned. Let me tell you something. In the South, where I was raised, a number of people after slavery, because I grew up close to Reconstruction and Jim Crow, a number of black people owned lots of land. You would be amazed at the number of black people who own land in South Carolina on their own farms. Got it in the 40 acres in the mule. South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida, Black Wall Street, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Ohio, where black people own large swaths of land. And they were their own business people. 2 black senators in 1870. So you were doing better right after slavery than you do, because you wouldn't know that. Most of y'all black folk wouldn't know that, because you don't want, first of all, if you do know it, you don't want to teach it, because it then flies in the face all this Black Lives Matter nonsense going on. But what did Obama do? And why did God let the birthplace of Obama politically become a slaughterhouse of killing youth? From 14 years old to about 34 years old, nearly 10,000 people were killed during that 8-year period. Why did God let that happen? Come on now, God. Why'd you let that happen? If this is the birthplace of the Messiah, the black man, why? Why? What did he do? What did he do? And now, you know he didn't do a damn thing for you. He needs to be denounced. And I believe that God will begin to bless if all Hamites, black people, stood up and one said we're going to call a national day of denouncing that skinflint, Barack Hussein, along-legged Baghdad Obama. Now, that ain't going to never happen. I tell you that right now. I tell you right, that ain't going to never happen, because black people don't give a damn. They don't care that he do that. They don't care. You know what? Can I tell you what? They can't answer for themselves. I'll tell you what Obama did for black people. He gave them more reason to hate white folk. That's what he did. When they say we got a first black president, that means we can now hate white people in the White House. We can hate people from the White House down. He gave them more leverage. He gave them more opportunity. He gave them a louder voice. Hell, he gave them Black Lives Matter. He gave them more reason to be trifling haters, nondescript, Uncle Tom Jigaboos. That's what Obama did for them. That's what the hell he did for black America and for black people. That's what the hell he did, and nothing more. And that's what they love. They love it. They love it. They love it. The white man is not the racial, he's not the one, the reason why there's racial problems. Because if you extract all black people from planet Earth, the Japanese and the white man will get along. The Jew and the German will get along. That's right. And we'll talk about the level of Hamites, but the Mexican and the white man will get along. Hell, England let India go. England had India colonized for several years, 100 years, but several years. Finally, England said to India, I'm going to let y'all go. And India and England now have a relationship. They have the embassies and everything, everything's everything. Hell, just a couple of years ago, England decided to let Hong Kong go. They said, we won't give Hong Kong back its own papers and its proclamation. Prince Charles was over there and everything. Had a great big old ship sailing out of Hong Kong, and everything's everything. So really, if you didn't have black people on planet Earth, you probably would have peace. You see, the white man has demonstrated he's not the problem. And God has authenticated that the white man is not the problem. It's the black man. And the reason why the black man is the problem is because he denies God. I've told him years ago, you need to stand up and say, in spite of slavery, if God hated slavery so much, why has he blessed America so good? God don't bless nations he hate. I mean, it's a simple, logical question hell any 3-year-old could answer. You don't need no Martin Luther King. You don't need no damn Obama or nobody else. It's a simple question. If God hates slavery so much, why has he blessed America, the citadel of slavery? It's a simple damn question. Because he doesn't hate it. He approved it. That's why. And he used it in his name to bless America. So we need to understand. But the Hamite brother, he don't want to go for that. No, sorry, Bob. He won't accept it. He'd run around here saying everything he possibly can. But you can run as long as you want, but you can't hide. And you ain't going to go nowhere. You ain't going over. Your arms are too short to box with God. You can run around here and do Black Lives Matter and get your black president and anything else black. Get your Keisha Obama Adams, Sylvester Turner, and Lori Lightfoot, and whoever the hell, David Dinkins, Tom Bradley, whoever the hell else, is going to get worse. You'll get better. Your arms are too short to box with God. Your arms are too short to box with God. Black man. Black man! No, God has blessed America. No, yeah. Bless Europe too. That's right. And so, if you want to solve the world's problem, you need to get rid of the black man on the planet, and you can have some peace here finally. Now, you say, Pastor Manny, ooh, Lord have mercy. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. I'm saying this because, first of all, I'm a messenger. I'm the Lord's servant. That's the first thing. Let's get straight about that. And I can only say that. I can only tell you what God loves, whether I'd be black, red, yellow, chartreuse. This is the truth. It's the truth. The truth does not choose what color container it's going to come. It's just the truth. It's just a truth that most people won't say. But it's the truth. No, it is. And so, having said that, I believe that by bringing this truth, more than Dr. King's civil rights or Nelson Mandela, African National Congress, the only thing that's going to set the black man free of his own mind, because he's in prison in his own mind, is the truth. He's got to know the truth. He's got to know he's the problem. He's the problem. You know, take an idiot like LeBron James, for instance, right? Take him. He lived in Cleveland, Cuyahoga County. He's out there playing basketball, whatever the hell else he's doing, right? And, anyhow, he gets some money. The first thing he does, he goes and buys a big house near white people. Damn. Well, it ain't safe for me. What you mean it ain't safe for you living in a black neighborhood? Well, you know, I'm a star now. I'm a star now. And what you mean? You mean black people gonna do you some harm? Well, you know, it ain't safe. Well, what you mean? You supposed to be black, man? You mean you feel safe around white people? Come on, now, LeBron. Is that LeBron? Is that what you're saying? LeBron. Are you saying you feel safer around white youth and white people than you do around black youth? And you're black. You're supposed to be a star. But so you don't feel safe around your own people. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. I mean, all right. Now, all right. You know, right here in Harlem, right? When black people got $2 to rub together, first thing they did, left Harlem, went to Inglewood, Bergen County, New Jersey, went up to Westchester County, went out to Long Island, and moved around. First thing they did, buy them a house as close to a white person's house as they possibly could. Why? Because they go black people in trouble. They don't want to. Money can set you free from having to live around black people. Let me get the hell out of Harlem. Let me get the hell out of Cuyahoga County. Let me get the hell out of Cleveland and buy me a big house near white people. Because effectively, that's what they confess with their actions and with their money and with their deeds, because that too is the truth. It is. But I believe that there's help. I believe that, and I will continue this process, that the global racial problem comes, were it not for black people, there'd be no racial problems in the world. Were it not for the fact that black people, let me restate that, were it not for the fact that black people are the most anti-God, ungodly people on the planet, which creates all this chaos all the time and disharmony on planet Earth. If you get rid of them, perhaps there'd be some harmony, whether there be peace or not. But let me also quickly state, and then I won't trouble you no further, I'm trying to help him, the Hamite brother. I'm trying to help him. Now, he may not realize that, but I pray the truth I've said is going like an arrow right to his heart, because I've told not a lie, but I've told the truth on you. I've told the truth about your hatred. I told you the truth about God's hatred for you. Because if God so loved you, he wouldn't have blessed America. No, God loves America, and you need to love what God loves. I'm going to keep on preaching. I'm going to actually call for, the Lord give me the strength, I'm going to call for a day of denouncing Obama. I think that'd be a great place to start. Defrock him, denounce him. 8 years, he silver-tongued, slick-talked, made more under Obama. Obama made 400 new billionaires on Wall Street. Never in the history of the world had that many billionaires been in America till Obama came and started giving money to white folk in corporations and business on Wall Street. Obama gave it to him, you know. And then one other thing, and that is this, is that to begin the process of denouncing him, I believe that wisdom will fall upon you and goals and treasures of heaven will be yours. Your eyes will be open to the world and you'll begin to see, and you can turn around and help your brother. I'm here to help the Hamite. I'm not here to help the Japheth. You don't need my help. But I'm here to bring the Hamite brother the truth. And I'm going to keep on. God put me in Harlem. He put me here in the flagship of the black world. He put me in the black world to bring the truth. And he's so far protected me and given me this understanding. My name is James David Manning. I'm indeed the Lord's servant. This is symbolic. It's where Jesus was baptized. It's where John baptized. And so this is not a rebaptism. It's just a symbolic, if you will, act of what we're going to do, being in the water at the place where Jesus was baptized. And what I'd like to do is to baptize today that we would come to terms with the understanding of what God is calling for in righteousness. He's not calling for prosperity. He isn't calling for culturalism. God is calling for righteousness. If we would commit ourselves to fulfill all righteousness, and God has calls us to be persecuted for righteousness' sake, as John was persecuted for righteousness, and so Jesus. I got to tell you that I'll never forget this experience of actually stepping in the water where Jesus were baptized, and where John has baptized so many people. This is such a historic and a powerful, powerful sight. Just to touch the water was so critical. And I'm glad that people got baptized to have that experience. It was a safe experience and a great experience. I'm not even going to change my clothes. I want to just stay in baptism mode until I get back to the hotel. So that's what I want to say. All right.
This has been live from the Jordan River. God bless you all. Peace.
Righteousness. Boom, chakalaka goes right there.
Over the years, we have served more than 1 million meals to hungry bellies and hungry people here in the Harlem community. And I wanted you to be able to see that. I want you to see our involvement with youth, our summer youth programs, our courtyard being used as a place where children can be safe, guarded, and protected as they have their miniature swimming pools, and a safe place for children to eat that is guarded, that is protected by our own sense of security, and the wholesome and fresh meals that we serve. We wanted you to be able to see the mission of this church. And we've been doing this for years. Just recently, one of our members, more than a 30-year member of this church, but it hasn't, not one that, you know, that you would probably find as members of some other churches with their nose stuck up in the air. But her father is now close to death or very sick in the state of South Carolina. And I said to her, well, because she doesn't have money, I said, we will buy you a bus ticket, a round trip bus or train ticket for you to travel to South Carolina to be with your father in this time of pandemic. There's very little funding around. There's sickness everywhere. And the thing that just blew me away was she said, as she was talking to Elizabeth, she said, but how are you going to do that? To pay for me a round trip ticket to travel and give me expense money. And, because Pastor Manning has to feed the children. He has to educate the children. He has to buy school supplies for them. He has to pick them up in the mornings and take them back. And then he's got the ministry he has to take care of, all the bills of running the church, of keeping a major house like our house operational, keep the lights on, how are you going to be able to do that? And she was almost reluctant to take the money because she felt that it would be better served by feeding the children. We gave it to her anyway. But we want you to know that we do a work in this community. There have been a lot of lies told on us. And it's almost unimaginable why some of the people that have lied on us. But I can tell you behind all of it is the LGBTQ community. Hallelujah. They don't want us to be successful, but we are, and we're going to continue to be successful in serving the meals that we're serving and serving the people that we are. And the LGBTQ community will not take us down. They are not going to take our church. Yet they've defamed us. They've written ugly newspaper articles about us. They've marched against us. They've done a whole lot of ugly things. But you see what we have done, and that's not even the half of our service to children and to the needy in terms of our homeless shelters and the things that we've done over the years. And we will continue. And probably the lies and the smears and the ugly newspaper articles and the wicked spirits and the so-called I ain't for the black man, that is not going to go away. I don't expect it to go away. I don't. But I do tell you this, that we will succeed against all of that, for God is with us, and I am his servant.